Well, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Anyways, this is Qumaya Hadid, right? So, listen, by now, right? We don't really need all of this new perspectives, these wild ass bullshit, right? Everything that has been written. The shit that is bothering us now is like it's like the bullshit from 100 years ago, right? Because I was in the Somali community, right? I'm a Somali, Eastern Kushite from the Horn. You know what horn means? Horn means, in the Somali language, giz. Some of you think that it's the giz language of the Orthodox Church. No, it just means one side of a story, right? That's what a corner is. So, that's what we call even a brave person in Somali language, a gezi. But then in some part of our literature, agesi then also becomes ragedi or rage. Rage is also rage in English. That's the name for what's his name? Yeah, so Rage is the planet Saturn in the Somali context, right? And then Saturn, right? We know the whole story about Saturn. Um, and Set, you know? But that also kind of like brings me back to satire, right? If we're just kind of cosplaying the planets, or we're just kind of the zodiac, you know? What's done in the dark comes to the light, right? What's above is below. Anyways, so since I come from those people, yeah, when I was in Somalia recently, I had a dog. I adopted this little dog, and I was like, I named him Rage, right? And then my cousins and everyone was like, oh my god, there's guys called this name and they'll be insulted if you call them after a dog, right? But that Rage was annoying. He was a street dog, and he was just like, no, you are not gonna keep me in this house. So I had to take him back to the streets, you know? But anyways, I'm saying all of this to say, right? So I brought this story up in the Somali community last year, right? On TikTok. You know, TikTok owes me a lot. You know how much information I shared on that bitch? And even clothing. And then suddenly I saw that TikTok has partnered up with the 2024 fashion shows, right? Getting all the information from the people and then selling that bullshit. That's why I left. Culture is important, right? Culture is what makes you wealthy. So if we go back to this word, right? They said they say that Mahru, yeah, means true of voice, right? True of voice. But then I'm looking at it. There's no vowels, right? And they say the Egyptian language is dead pretty much, but you know, the closest language to it is the Coptic language. Well, Coptic is just means Egyptians, right? So whoever is there, and then they take off the oneness of God, the Orthodox Church, right? One thing. That's what a voice is, right? The people believing one thing. So, anyways, this name, right? The vowels are missing. And like I said, in the Somali community, we have had so many Somali elders and learned men speak about the words and the phrases that was translated and figure out what they could mean in the Somali language or Somali context, yeah? So this special word is Kharu. Yeah. But if I were to read it as a Somali, and the names that I've heard, and it's got something to do with true voice, right? What I see is a Somali name for a complete woman or married woman, right? Or a married woman with importance, basically a royal woman, right? And that name, or the name for that woman, the title for that woman, it's a title and it means Marwo, you know? That's where you get Maru, covering. Yeah, so Marwo, um, Maryale. Somalis are called people of the Mariole, meaning people of the cloth, right? This whole Gaza. Gaza is a gauze, it's a type of cotton used to wrap wounds, right? So basically, a woman covers your wounds, you know, your battle wounds. That's what it means in the Somali context, right? And that's what it meant in the Egyptian context as well, right? Um, where we get the grave stones from, right? You talk well of this person when they pass away, right? So a noble woman, you know, a gentle woman, a lady. That's what all this name means, Marwo, in the Somali context. And obviously, if a person is of a noble birth, right, a gup person, gup is in the Somali context, can mean many things. But when we're talking about people, we're talking about them being fruits, right? The gup trees, that's the Somali tree. So, a woman is the one that covers the wounds of battle, right? And then, but how would she cover these things, right? That means that she would have to cover for a partner or somebody from her. Yeah, so in the Somali context, right? A woman is just a covering, right? A person that covers, or a covering. See, people can make so many different satire from then one character, right? Because eventually the Lilith character, or Layla, or the moon, I think that's what Selena's name meant as well, right? Morally speaking, it's the hidden part, right? And that character is always going to be played. But a Marwo is the opposite of that, even if that was the case in the past, when she, you know, when she takes on that character, it's completely different. So I'm saying all of this to say, right, there's more to life, or there's more to language than what people assume language means. Yeah, language is important. Language is part of culture, you know what I mean? That's, you know, that's the, what you call it, the Kabbalah, the tradition, the Kabbalah, yeah? The path. People talk about empath all the time, but I'm like, y'all know what that means though. Don't get caught up in the beauty of language. I know English is a Latin language, right? Indo-European, a language from the Indian Ocean. That's all it means, right? And in the contemporary world, it's beautiful the way ideas are expressed, but you can appreciate the language without worshipping the language, right? That's what the Somali context teaches, the Somali culture. or anyone that wants to be part of the Somali culture. And ultimately, you know, what is unbeatable is culture. That's the race, that's the tartan or tartaria. You're racing for whatever it is, not fucking brute force. I think that's been done and dusted, right? 100 years ago. That's why people have agreements. Somalis, they say a stupid person was present at the time of war, but they weren't present when agreements were made. So people fight, right? doqontu meel lagu dagaalamay bay joogtaa, laakiin meel lagu heshiisay ma joogto, or may joogin. Yeah, so pay attention. Pay attention. It's all a game. It's all fucking language and culture, and the hijacking of culture, you know what I mean? The suppressing of real competition, it's what's causing all of this fucking drama, right? Some people want to come with brute force at this time and age, right? And I'm like, it's all mind game at this point, you know? But you need the proper culture to have told you, right? So we need like a proper culture. You need to be part of a proper culture to understand, right, these sensibilities to stories. Yeah, otherwise your sense is going to be clouded based on you know, your biases, your sensibilities. So the world is like metaphors, proverbs. In Somali we call it mahma. Yeah, and when I say culture, I mean you have to come from a people that are cultured. You know, sometimes certain food is very easy on your gut, on your stomach when it's cultured, right? Well, that's pretty much the art of language. Yeah, it brings people to like a common a thing, you know. And when we speak of Rome or the Latin language, yeah, the Roman Empire, the roaming men, right? The Romans, the rowing men, because that's ultimately who's causing all this drama, right? Your sensibilities got the best of you, right?